Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. Today, I will tell you how the claims made about the dead are becoming false, and how every summer leads to people's loss, both human and financial. We'll discuss this in detail. Today, Alima Khan Sahib has had an important conversation in the Islamabad High Court, where 4 PTI members were granted major relief. The 10-year sentence that was given to them by the anti-terrorism court judge was not only overturned, but also declared null and void. They were fully acquitted, and this happened in just a few weeks. We'll talk about how this happened and the details surrounding it. There was also an important meeting today between Arshad Kaiser and the Saudi ambassador. There's a lot of speculation about this meeting, and I'll also share that with you. On top of that, the decision regarding Imran Khan's bail, which was rejected by the Lahore High Court, has also been made public. We'll discuss the strong grounds of that decision and how the war of statements is progressing. I request you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now let's start with some legal matters. First of all, let me tell you about Imran Khan's bail request in the May 9th cases. You'll remember that his requests were rejected about 2 weeks ago. The decision regarding this has now been announced. According to the decision, it is stated that from the perspective of the complainant, Imran Khan seems involved in the conspiracy behind the May 9th cases, and he did not cooperate with the various tests that were to be conducted. The evidence seems to go against him. Therefore, his bail request has been rejected, as further investigation and inquiry are needed in this case. What is interesting about this decision is that it states that Imran Khan was found involved in conspiracies on May 4th, May 7th and May 9th in Chakri and Lahore. You'll remember the story about the 2 police officers who supposedly appeared at every place where Imran Khan was allegedly conspiring, eavesdropping on these conspiracies. Well, according to this decision, those police officers were found at these locations, and based on this, the evidence against Imran Khan is considered strong. The odd thing about this, however, is that the decision says Imran Khan was in Lahore on May 9th when in fact he was arrested from the Islamabad High Court that day. Everyone knows that on May 9th he was arrested from the court, and after his arrest, the whole scene of May 9th unfolded. So he wasn't even in Lahore on that day. After his arrest, he was taken to Islamabad and Rawalpindi, where he stayed for the next 2 or 3 days before appearing in the Supreme Court, which declared his arrest illegal, and after that, he was released. This was around May 11th or 12th, so you can imagine how solid the evidence is against him. But anyway, his bail request in these cases was rejected. Generally, in cases involving such allegations, people are granted bail unless there is very strong evidence against them, especially if they were not physically present at the scene. In this case, there's no physical evidence that links him to the alleged conspiracy on May 9th. You would need extraordinary solid evidence to prove such a claim, and it doesn't appear to be present here. However, in other May 9th cases, you'll remember that about a month or a month and a half ago, Judge Tahir Abbas Sipra of the Anti-Terrorism Court in Islamabad sentenced several PTI workers, around 100 to 150 people, though I don't remember the exact number, to prison, many of whom received sentences of 10 years each. This was the same time when Abdul Latif, a PTI member from Chitral, was also sentenced to 10 years in prison, along with fines. It was a time when the sentences were handed down hastily and without much thought. The real question, though, is how solid these cases were and how the trials were conducted. Today, the Islamabad High Court revealed the truth. In the Islamabad High Court's divisional bench today, the appeal of 4 of the accused was heard and their sentences were overturned. The interesting part is that when the accused were questioned about the evidence, it was revealed that they didn't have any weapons, didn't injure any police officers, and didn't shoot anyone. There was no solid evidence to link them to the charges, even though the initial verdict had been that they were involved with PTI flags and sticks, supposedly using them to harass people. Yet, there was no evidence to show that anyone had been injured with the sticks, or that any police officer had been attacked. Eventually, these 4 accused were acquitted and released. This is an important victory for justice, and it's a reminder that, despite all the talk, it's clear that there is no solid evidence against them. We are grateful to Allah for this justice, even though we've seen so many unjust cases in the past. Alima Khan Sahib was also present in the Islamabad High Court today, where she discussed this matter and others. She's someone who actively follows up on the cases of PTI workers and Imran Khan, attending their hearings, whether in Lahore High Court, the Anti-Terrorism Court or Islamabad High Court. She ensures that everything is in order, even if others are not as active in these matters. Some people criticize her for being front and center in these activities, but she has been doing her part while others do not show up to support the cause. Today, Alima Khan had an important discussion regarding Imran Khan. When asked about the criticism of her statement on Imran Khan being minus, she responded by saying, "What harm can my statement cause? I just stated the truth that the system is working to minus Imran Khan. It is not just the KP government, the entire system is trying to erase him. He is being kept in solitary confinement. His image, his voice and his message are being suppressed. His cases are being stalled. All of this is happening to remove him from the public eye. This is why I said that the system is trying to minus him." She also praised Ali Amin, saying he has been preparing for a major strategy for the upcoming protests and that he has some great plans. She mentioned that all the parties are hoping for a strong strategy in the protests. When asked about the demand being made, Alima Khan explained that Imran Khan is being asked not to talk about the past, not to talk about rule of law or what has happened, but instead to accept the current system and move forward. They want him to accept everything that has already happened and work within that framework. Regarding May 9th, they are asking him to apologize and take a minor punishment before being released. The sentences for the other workers are expected to continue. Alima Khan concluded by saying that Imran Khan is firm in his stance. He doesn't want relief for himself. He wants to ensure the system improves, which has been the central goal of his struggle. This was the discussion today regarding Imran Khan and Alima Khan. Finally today, an important meeting took place between Asad Kaiser and the Saudi ambassador, Nawaf Saeed al-Maliki. This meeting is important for a couple of reasons, and some people believe that it might be related to Imran Khan's release. The discussion is happening on that. It's possible that some discussion has happened about that as well, because obviously if some leaders of PTI meet someone, the challenges their party is facing right now will be discussed. Naturally, the topic of Imran Khan's release will come up. Even if they don't talk about it, whoever they meet will bring it up. So such situations arise. But alongside that, keep in mind that I don't have news about this, but I do have a hunch. Do you remember the Abraham Accord? There's been a lot of discussion regarding that. And yesterday, Mr. Rana Sanola also mentioned in a TV program that Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Iran and other Islamic countries will have to figure out what kind of collective policy should be made regarding Israel. He was probably also talking about Turkey. So in this collective policy, Pakistan should also align with these countries. He was hinting that if Saudi Arabia accepts Israel, recognizes it, then could Pakistan also recognize it? This means that a thought process exists somewhere. If this thought is realized in Saudi Arabia, then we'll also need to see whether the political parties in Pakistan will be on the same page about this. It's possible that some discussion took place on this matter, because PTI has a clear stance on this matter due to Imran Khan. As they say, they will not recognize Israel. And until the policy set by Pakistan's founder, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, is followed, they want to stick to it. PTI has this policy on the issue. Imran Khan has announced this several times. So I think there might also have been some discussion on whether PTI is considering reviewing its stance on this or not. This is possible, and it is also true that internal politics might have been a point of discussion too, along with Pakistan-Saudi Arabia relations. Nevertheless, this was an important meeting that took place today with Mr. Asad Kaiser. Now, let me tell you that today, a video went viral, and the reason for that was a military officer's video in which she was addressing young people and talking about Pakistan's army. In the video clip, she is seen saying that the Pakistani army has a lot of self-accountability, and we assess our mistakes, learn from them. She also says that I am not saying everything the army does is right, but whatever we do, it is in the public interest. She also says that you should not ask what Pakistan has given you, think about what you have given to Pakistan. This conversation went viral, and there were many reactions. Now, I won't go into much detail about it because this video has been circulating since last night, and I'm sure you've already seen it. But there are a few important aspects to consider. The first thing I don't understand is why is it necessary for different military officers to go to educational institutions and give their narrative regarding the army? Pakistan's army obviously is with the people, right? This is your stance, that the people are with us. So then why is there a need to go out and give a narrative? Do other countries have military officers going out to create a narrative? The people, the public, form the narrative. The public stands with the army and fights its case. The army doesn't need to fight that case, the people do that. The military's job is to defend the borders, but our military officers go to various universities, deliver speeches, tell people what the army's system is, how it operates, and what its objectives are. This is one point. Secondly, the female officer in the video says, whatever we do it in the public interest. The question is, how can you define public interest? It's not the job of an institution, a military institution, or the army to define public interest. That is for the people to decide. The people determine their public interest through their elected government. The government then decides what is in the national interest and makes decisions accordingly. The military implements those decisions, and if they relate to military operations, then the military may take action. But it's not the military's job to decide what public interest is, as per the Constitution of Pakistan. So the first question is, why is the army deciding what is right and wrong? The second point is, even if we assume, for argument's sake, that the army is acting in the public interest, then we have a long history to look back on. What actions were taken in the past? Did the army really act in the public interest? Was it in the public interest to form and break governments? Was it in the public interest to label Fatima Jinnah as a traitor? Was it in the public interest to torture our own people or create situations where an eastern wing of the country broke away? These are the questions that come to mind, and the political interference, was that also in the public interest? This goes against the oath the military took. So if the idea is to create a narrative for the people, it seems to just revive old issues that were suppressed before, making them come to light again and forcing us to rethink the past. Now, I don't know if this is being done to create a narrative, because the army has become quite popular after the war. The people are with the army in terms of defence, and they should be. There's no doubt that the military plays a necessary and honourable role in defence, and the people stand by them for that. But if someone thinks that all other issues are overshadowed by this, that's not true. Awareness has increased, especially with the help of social media, and people are more open to expressing their opinions. They know where to support and where to question. The video has received criticism, and some have defended it by saying that critics should be insulted instead of giving any logical counterpoints. But still, the issue stands. Now, in conclusion, let me share a sad news. A young man committed suicide today. He was from Gujranwala. He had been under extreme stress due to the increasing electricity bills. They couldn't pay their bills, and eventually their meter was removed and their electricity was cut off, so they borrowed electricity from neighbours. After the complaint was filed, the police came to arrest the young man's father. This young man was so distressed, having no way to pay the bill, no means of securing a bond, and no resources to help. This drove him to such despair that he took his own life. The rescue team reached the scene, but he passed away before they could take him to the hospital. The rescue worker was so distressed and said he would personally arrange the bond for the young man's father. I was deeply disturbed by this incident because we've seen many such cases. Last year there were several suicides due to unpaid electricity bills. People were desperate, and some even killed each other, or others jumped in front of trains or into rivers, or set fire to rickshaws and so on. But this time the issue is even more grave. People are now unable to pay their electricity bills due to the financial burden. Imagine that this corrupt government promised that they would provide free electricity for the first 200 units or 300 units. These were promises made by Bilawal Bhutto, Aleem Khan, Mariam Nawaz and Shahbaz Sharif. They said, "We'll give you free electricity." But what is the reality today? The inflation is so severe, the suffering is so intense, that people are now resorting to suicide. Meanwhile, the elite and government officials are receiving free electricity. It's ironic that while the poor, who struggle to make ends meet with minimal use of electricity, have to pay bills they can't afford, the wealthy continue their lavish lifestyle. This is the tragic reality faced by the people. And yet some continue to lecture us, asking, "What have you given to the country? What can the poor give?" They give their lives while the elite sit in comfort, enjoying privileges. This is the sad truth about the state of affairs in our country. That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens. to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.